Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today at Women Have Needs Too. Women have needs too. Right now, I need to jump into 2021 head on. And today, to talk about 2021 with me today is Heidi Brumbach
Here I am.
with Be Well TV. Here we are.
Here we are.
2021.
In 2021. Thank God. Right?
So, what are we going to do 2021? We got a lot going on.
Yeah. All right. So I've set some goals.
Oh, you
some
have?
plans. Some plans.
So you don't call them. You don't call them New Year's resolutions.
I don't because I've never set New Year's resolutions.
I used to.
And that's just me. I don't. It's,
I used
it's
to,
not
but
because I heard that.
I stopped doing it a long time ago.
Well, I feel like after the first few weeks, you lose track of them, and
thank you.
They can be too lofty. I just don't even like to attach the term to it.
I agree.
I try to do better things with my life. That's my plan.
That's me.
Yeah.
That's me.
And with that, I try not to take on too much because, again, I think that if you try to do too many things, if you set your goals too high, then it's really easy to just walk away and not complete them. Right.
I remember when I was starting the business and trying to get things, and then I started an exercise program that I had because I was working on my neck, and then I had to pay attention to what I was putting in my body because I was going through some things and I needed a fix in my body, and and then on top of that, I decided I was going to start writing a book. And it was just so overwhelming because there's this, and this I have to do. And this I need to do. And this I want to do. Okay? Well, you can't do, I know, Mom, you're listening to me. You can't do everything all at the same time. You do have to have a plan.
Right.
And you can do it all. You just can't try to do it all at the same time and expect to be successful at it all.
Right. Well, I think, in my life when I've had really good times, when I've been successful with fitness or whatever, it has to fit into your routine. Like
Absolutely.
It has to be a daily routine habit, and it has to fit. If you're trying to cram it in...
It doesn't work.
No, it doesn't.
No.
And I know, I went through a really good period of fitness when... my daughter was young, and she wanted to go to the Y every day. So she was doing her classes, and she used to love the child center and everything like that. So it was really easy to, after work, pick her up, go over to the Y. She'd play for an hour, and I'd work out for an hour.
And do your thing.
Yeah.
So
life changes.
So it's about, for me, I set my alarm every morning. I do have a walking partner, so that gives me some accountability. And I remember my nutritionist at the time, she says, well, what if your walking partner can't walk? What do you do? I'm like, well, sometimes I don't walk and sometimes I do. And she's like, why can't you be accountable to yourself? Why do you have to have a walking partner? And that has resonated with me because it's so true.
That's good.
We need to be committed to ourselves. It doesn't matter if it's on a piece of paper. It doesn't matter if you share it with the whole world. I do believe in accountability, though, because it does help me become more accountable to myself.
That is interesting for you to bring up because I've never... And I'm not saying that this is right or wrong or good or bad, but I've never been into the accountability partner concept because I feel like, I don't know, there's probably some sort of weird psychological issue in me that makes me opposed to it.
Well,
but
you're a very independent woman.
Maybe that's why.
Yeah,
I'm
independent too, but I've learned for me, and what matters is what works for you.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the bottom line. If it works for you, don't change it.
Right.
If it doesn't, then you might want to change it.
So what works for me is making small changes.
Yeah, I agree.
So the goals that I have set for myself this year are really all about small changes that I think, hopefully, will result in big results.
Big results. Small changes that
have big results.
That lead to big results.
Yes.
I like that.
Yeah. I'm gonna create a new quote poster.
I like it. Heidi has some great quotes on her walls in here, and if you want to check it out, I'm sure she'd give you a tour.
All right, we'll get some pictures and post them on the Facebook page.
I might take some pictures.
Yeah,
I might take some pictures today and post it with this episode.
We'll do that.
I think that would be good, and we'll have to include that one. So you're gonna have to get on it.
I know. Good thing we're recording.
Do you need me to write it down? Do you want me to write it down? What was that?
know, small changes that lead to big results.
That lead to big results. Small changes that lead to big results.
We'll have to craft exactly how to make that into a whatever.
Figure it out. And it's and she always puts who the quote is, and we'll put that by Heidi Brumbach.
There we go. There we go.
So do you want to discuss some of the changes?
Yeah, absolutely. I have a list.
You do?
I do.
Good.
Yeah.
What's the first one?
So the first one, really easy. Very easy, in fact. Drink more water.
Oh, gosh. It's the easiest thing for any of us to do, and it's the most important.
And so
most.
I neglect it. Why do we neglect it? I don't know. Lots of times I find myself chewing gum a lot, and then you don't get thirsty when you're chewing gum. Is that bad?
No, that should be number one on your list.
Wait, don't chew gum?
Don't ever chew gum again.
No, don't do that to me. Why?
Just, check into it.
Is gum really... Oh, man. That's... All right, I haven't been chewing a lot of gum lately, but...
There's your start.
I guess. I didn't... My God, I didn't know gum was that bad for you.
I would stop.
Okay, well, we'll have to discuss that later.
You have to call Dr. Michelle and talk to her about it.
Okay, well, I have found that when I chew gum, it makes me less thirsty, and I don't drink enough water. Or maybe that's why. Maybe that's why she said... Well, there's probably other reasons, too.
I don't know why I'm shaking my head, but I don't think that makes sense at all.
It's me. I don't know why. But I don't drink as much water.
You know why I had to stop chewing gum?
Why?
Because it gives me really bad acid and gives me gas.
Well, I know.
So I would burp all the time.
If it's sugar-free, there's probably aspartame or something in it.
Oh, and that's horrible.
And that's bad for you.
That's number one reason right there.
Okay.
If you're doing sugar-free anything, get rid of that. Cut it out.
All right, boss. All right, now there's the quote that we have hanging on the wall that I'm going to have to remove because it's all about gum. Because we always have chocolate and gum.
What's all about chocolate and well, that's
quote on the
okay.
wall.
You can have gum every once in a while, just don't chew it all the time.
Okay. All right, well, so that's an easy one. Drink
My
more
father
water.
always says that everything in moderation.
Okay, I agree with that, except for water. You have to drink a lot of water.
Well, you can't drink too much water, I hear.
True.
I don't think I've ever gotten to that point.
Well, I started carrying a growler. Because it's a nice,
huge.
big, huge growler, so... I'm filling it in the morning and bringing it to work with me, so at least while I'm at work, I'll finish that. That's my plan.
And I wake up and I drink 32 ounces of lemon water, and then I do my juice, which ends up being about 20 to 30 ounces of juice.
Yeah.
And Dr. Michelle says if I get that in my body first thing in the morning, that could almost screw up the rest of the day and I'll be okay. I don't do it, Dr. Michelle. I don't do it.
I have heard Dr. Michelle say that, and I would love to follow her advice to a T. But like I said,
it does help you,
steps.
but then you got to keep then you got to keep drinking water throughout the day, which sometimes I fail at and I don't do as well. But you know what? Your body tells you. You will get headaches. You'll become constipated. But anyway, let's get on with the next one.
Okay. The next one. So this is a really easy one too, but with the pandemic and working so much on the computer, I have not been moving enough. So the next thing is move more. You have to, yeah.
Gotta move.
So
They say if you keep moving, you'll never die, but we all know that's not true.
I'm not trying to take on more than I can commit to.
Yeah.
The goal is just move more. And then
I think the rule of thumb is 10,000 steps a day.
Yeah. I think so. Well, probably different people are. It varies.
Yeah.
But that's a goal for me for sure. So it's just move more. My daughter has committed to it with me, so we're gonna work out together.
See, there's your partner.
Yeah, exactly. But although we can do it independently
separately
too. We don't
but
rely on each other.
But at least you're checking in with each other. Did you get your movement in today?
Yeah.
20 minutes, 30 minutes a day. Dr. Lacey, not Dr. Lacey, but Lacey Bird. She says 30 minutes. 30 minutes is all you need. That's good.
Yeah.
Well, you're
I feel better.
accomplishing things.
I feel better. I mean,
you just have to
mentally.
you just have to keep doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it will get
That's
more
the key.
intense as time goes.
But
But
I think
I've been horrible because during the pandemic, since March, it's been almost 10 months now, right? So I've been just the worst. Like I'm constantly on my computer, not just for the Zoom meetings and all of the other things that people are doing, but I'm researching.
You get sedentary.
Yeah, it's been awful. And then the next really easy thing is just eat more veggies. eat more vegetables. I don't want to commit to a full transformation at this point because, like I said, I'm doing lots of small things that hopefully will add up to a big thing.
But you know, a jump start, a good jump start would be the decadent detox that I'm getting ready to do.
And I'm so proud of you, so happy for you. And I think down the road, I might
and they do it
that.
quarterly. So if it doesn't fit right in your schedule for the first quarter, you can jump in on the second quarter.
Well, for me, my step is just eat more vegetables in general. In fact, one of the things that I did over the holiday break, we started juicing. We went back to more juicing.
Good.
And I hate that there's so much waste with juicing. You
can save it.
Well, I have a psychological thing about waste.
So do I.
So for me, I
have that stuff in my freezer.
Yeah, so I thought, what can you do with all of this stuff that's left over? So I started making chips.
Isn't it good?
Yeah.
You mean not from the stuff that you're juicing?
Yeah.
You don't stick the whole thing in the juicer?
Well, the pulp that comes out of the juicer.
Yeah.
So you drink the juice.
Okay.
And then I take the pulp and I make chips.
How do you make chips out of the pulp?
I'll show you. I'll bring some in. But
what do you do? Like lay it all on a sheet pan and then cookie cutter it out?
Surprisingly enough, the pulp that comes out of the vegetables is actually quite doughy. So it bonds really well, even if you don't add anything. You can add seeds, you can add nuts. You can
I
add other
am
things.
so doing this.
But you take, let's say,
I am so excited right now.
We usually use whatever we have available. So carrots, kale, apples, lemon, all of that stuff, whatever we have available. Yeah. When it comes out, it sticks and binds really well.
Yeah.
Wrap it up in plastic wrap, stick it in the refrigerator for like an hour so that it becomes a little more firm.
Okay.
Roll it out just like pie dough.
No way.
I learned after the first time, make sure that you cut up the dough. Make sure you cut it up so that it's individual pieces, because if it's still stuck together,
cut it ahead of time.
Yep.
And how thin do you make it?
As thin as you can, without it breaking apart.
I am so excited right now.
I've done it twice now. The first time, because I didn't roll it out really thin, and because I didn't cut it, it was not as crispy in the center as it was on the outside.
Yeah, it gets
and the outside got a little burnt.
Yeah.
So second time I tried it, separated it, turned out great.
And so you don't have to add anything to it.
You add whatever you want. There are no rules.
I love it.
I mean,
liquid-wise, you don't have to add any flour. You don't have to add any liquid.
I had read something that flaxseed actually if you take flaxseed with water, it replaces eggs. So you could do that if you want to.
So does chia. I use chia.
Yep. Yeah, so I've added flaxseed, chia seeds, I've added nuts.
Really?
In fact, the other thing I did was I made like crackers with just raw nuts. That was another thing that I tried over the holidays. That turned out really good.
Did you? If it turned out, send me the recipe, because
I don't use recipes. That's the thing. But I'll send you the idea. I'll send you the concept.
If you remember what you did, because my consistency has been a little off on my crackers.
I will send it over, or we'll talk about it. Yeah,
awesome.
For sure.
What's next?
Okay, what's next? Read more. So
what do you want to read? What do you like to read?
So I generally read all self-help or business.
Me too.
I don't really enjoy
People
fiction
will find
that
us really boring readers, because that's what I read.
Yeah, but it's what I enjoy. But I found that I've really fallen out of the routine of reading. I think since social media became so present every day, all the time, I'm as bad as anyone with just being addicted to the scrolling and everything.
It's easy. It's at your fingertips. And I do a lot of reading on my phone. I have to admit.
It does give you a shot of dopamine, and it's scary, the psychological effect of social media. But
if you haven't watched it, what is it called? What is that?
Social Dilemma.
Social Dilemma.
Yeah. Yeah, it's scary.
Yeah, scary movie.
I'm not saying I'm giving up social media, but I am trying to replace a lot of that time with more reading, because I've fallen out of the habit of reading. So I think over the break I read like 3 books. Yeah. So like I said, mostly
which 3 books were they? Can you share?
I don't want to share yet, because I will another time.
Okay. I'm starting to read The E-Myth.
Oh, I love that one. I read that one years ago.
Yeah.
It's great.
Well, this is the updated version of it, so I'm looking forward to reading it.
Good, you'll enjoy it. That's a good one. Anyone who is in business or starting a business,
right?
Really good one. Let's see the next one. Oh, okay. So focus on what you can control, and That
You mean we can't control everything?
So I have personally had a very difficult time, and I know everyone has had a hard time with the pandemic and the lockdown and all of the stuff that's going on in the world. For me personally, it makes me so frustrated and angry, and I get angry at other people. And, the state of the world, there are so many things that just upset me, and it's affecting me on a daily basis. And okay, I'm going to give you a little bit of honesty. My husband told me that I rely on other people to make me happy. And that like flipped a switch in my head.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, I can't say that that's wrong. I let the outside world influence my emotions too much.
Yeah.
And the conversation that we were having at that moment related to something more personal than the big wide world. But it made me realize that the things that are going on in the world are making me too emotional, whether it's happy or sad or angry or frustrated or whatever it may be. If you can't control it, the way you react to it is really up to you.
That's right. I just read that I just read it somewhere this morning too, that if you're letting the outside, if it's something that somebody else is saying or something that they're doing, if you're letting that control your mood or your actions, then you are not in control of yourself. And if you're not in control of yourself, then you're in a pretty bad state.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. You have to be able to control. You can't let those outside forces. I remember somebody asked me one time, "Well, aren't you upset about about somebody else what they were doing?" And I said, "No, I'm not upset about it." "Why aren't you upset about it?" I'm like, "Well, I can't control what they're doing or how they're living their life." And even if I were to give advice, number one, he hasn't asked for it, so. Where's it going to get me?
Right.
So
True.
why am I going to let it affect me emotionally that much to where I am just, frustrated and I don't have any control over it?
Well, and one of the things that was in one of the books that I'm reading right now is your emotions are largely connected to things that have happened in the past. So
It triggers something and...
No. The thing that makes you mad, let's say somebody slashed my tires, okay?
Oh. Well, that would make me mad.
It's going to make you mad.
Yeah.
But for you to, take that and live with that forever, you're just going to have that anger inside you.
It's done.
Do what you can. Fix it. Get new tires. Do the repair.
I'd be putting a camera up on my car.
But to hold on to that anger,
no, you can't hold on to it.
It's out of your control.
Once it's done, it's done.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you just have to fix your tire and move on and try to figure out how to keep it from happening again.
Right. And I'll try to either put this in on our Facebook page or maybe revisit it on another episode. But the book also talks about there are some things that are going to make you upset. Like if you go through a divorce or you get into a car accident and you're injured.
Yeah.
There are things that are
Life.
really... There are things that you had no control over that will definitely alter your emotions.
Yeah.
But then there are lots of...
That's normal. That's
lots
natural.
of examples are just the way you react to the things.
Like somebody cutting you off in traffic. Okay?
Absolutely.
We can't...
That is definitely...
Let it go.
Right.
I'm sure I've cut somebody off in traffic before.
Right.
And I'm sure I made somebody kind of upset. But sometimes I'm in a hurry and sometimes I'm not. Sometimes it's the other person that's in a hurry.
Well, and have you ever noticed how people react to things differently?
Yeah.
Like some people have road rage and they get so angry with something like that. And some people it happens and they just keep singing along with the radio. And there are some times that I look at my sister will just be oblivious to things that are upsetting me. And I'm like, how did you do that?
How do you do it? Because you can't let them control your mood. You can't let them get the best of you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously we know that negative emotions
Right.
a detriment to your health.
Yes.
So
it's not healthy.
So that's why I'm really taking all of these small steps to hopefully see a big result. The next thing is I've kind of stopped continuing my financial education over the last few years. And that's really, it's always important, obviously, but I feel like everything that the world is going through right now, there's a lot that there's a lot that has changed and that's still coming, that will change, and
that's the scary part is we don't know what's coming, and I think that's the
know.
scary part for a lot of people, especially people in your and like in your arena and in our arena. We have a business, and how do you plan for what is coming in the future when we before March of 2019, we could kind of set some goals and manage and know what was coming. Mm-hmm. But I feel like there's this uncertainty in the world of what is to come. How are things going to change?
Well, and I think that finance, the economy is so much bigger than what we know inside of us and the way we are directly controlling our personal finances. What I plan to dive in deeper with is, if you have a 401k, if you've been working at a company, let's say a hotel or a restaurant that has gone through a lot of turmoil over the last 10 months, your 401k is not your paycheck. However, your worth I shouldn't say your worth, but the value of your retirement savings
has gone down.
May have gone way down, and you didn't even know what affected that. So you may not.
I had an annuity that actually grew in the last 6 months.
So if you can educate yourself with the way the economy works and the way finances work, then you can at least control things like your investments, your 401k, other things, so that you can find more stability currently and in the future. Because, who's to say? Maybe restaurants close forever. Maybe the restaurant industry is dead. I don't think that's true.
Oh, no, I would miss some of my favorite
restaurants. I know you almost had a heart attack.
I did.
It's not. I don't think that that's going to happen.
No.
My list does not involve being a psychic, so that's not a thing. But
there are some of your favorite restaurants that you see they're closing their door. I mean, Steinmart, one of my favorite places to shop, is closed their door.
There might be industries.
Who would have thought?
There could be entire industries that maybe don't come back at all. At all. Take referring to the past. Imagine if you were a saddle maker at 1900.
Yeah, and all of a sudden somebody
you made your living
somebody
selling
invented
saddles.
the car.
The car.
Yeah. Well, now they can make car seats.
And that's why, as long as you
evolve,
as long as
we have to evolve with what's going on. I agree.
Yeah, and maybe using the events industry as an example, sometimes you can't adapt and go from making saddles to making car seats.
Right.
Maybe you don't have the desire, you don't have the skills, they don't translate the same. Lots of people that do live events, it doesn't translate to virtual events. It doesn't always translate,
but your work ethic will.
But if you understand if you have that financial education, then you can see how there are other influences other than your paycheck.
Right.
So that's another thing that hopefully I'll dive in deeper another episode, or share that on social media or something.
Fun.
Yeah. Fun. And then my last thing is another really easy one.
What?
Kind of. It's kind of really hard and it's kind of really easy. I'm going to work on my sleep routine.
Oh.
And I don't know what the answer is. I don't know how. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do, but I need to go to bed earlier and wake up earlier and sleep through the night. And I think a lot of the other things that I have on my list will tie into that. But
yeah, you're gonna love an upcoming episode that I have coming up. It's gonna be really cool.
I love all of your episodes.
Oh, thank you.
I love all of your guests.
Do you get 8 hours sleep? What is your number? My number's 8. I like 8. Sometimes I get 7.
I usually get 8, but it's a lot of restless sleep, and I get up and down a lot through the night. Some nights I sleep straight through, but I have just really irregular sleep.
If you go back to eat more veggies and eat less meat, I would add eat less meat on there. Eat less red meat. I don't know how much red meat you eat.
I don't eat a lot of red meat.
Oh, that's good. But if you do that and your water, but don't drink too much water before you go to bed because then you're going to be getting up to go to the bathroom. Just ask me. But and have a set time that you go to bed every night. And don't take naps. I'm sure you don't take naps if you're like me. Who has time for a nap?
Exactly. Exactly.
I wish I did.
Yeah, I don't know the steps that I'm going to take to achieve that, but that's a goal.
Well, I just might have some answers for you coming up with a lot of this.
I bet you will.
With a lot of this. Well, if you go back and listen to Dr. Michelle, she's going to get you straight on that and that. The water and the veggies. And I've got Jennifer Mulligan coming on the show again.
She's fantastic.
Isn't she fantastic? She's our next episode, and you might be able to learn a lot of stuff from her. She's pretty amazing.
You've got great guests. So
I
much
know,
information.
I know.
This is such a great show to watch to learn.
I need to find a guest for focus on what you can control. If that's you, email me at linda@womenhaveneeds2.com. And we're going to visit Be Well TV. Tell them how to watch Be Well TV.
Well, the YouTube channel, Be Well TV. Right now, all of the videos are on YouTube, but very soon we'll have our own site that we'll tell you about as soon as it's launched. Like I said, very soon. Do you want to tell me before we go what your goal is? Do you have one big goal?
I've been living my goals, for the last year, pretty much. I really, it's just to do more of what I've been doing, is staying on my physical and mental health. And that's about it. Physical and mental health. People say, how was your holiday? And it was perfect. I got to spend time with my family and some of my friends, and that's my goal every year too, to spend more time with my family and friends. But I think 2019 kind of forced us to do that. 2019.
Oh, okay.
Going through the pandemic. 2020. That was 2020.
Yeah. I mean, we can just ignore 2020 forever. We can just remove that from our vocabulary.
Did it really exist? No, 2020. So when the pandemic did hit, it forced a lot of people but I actually moved my whole life to be closer to my family, so I could spend more time with my family, and I've been successful in that, and I want to continue. Basically, that's my goal for the year 2021, is to continue to do those things that will keep me on that path to here's the bottom line, people. I want to live until I'm 120, and I'm coming up on my 58th birthday, and I am doing whatever I can to make that happen, to live to 120. And who knows, by then, maybe I can extend it to 150.
Good point.
You never know. I mean, things are changing all along.
Yeah.
But that's it. Keep doing the same things I'm doing.
Good.
Yep. And stay on track. Thank you for sharing all that information.
Absolutely.
It's so much fun to get into that brain of yours. If you don't know this girl, she's pretty clever, pretty smart, pretty brilliant. And I am glad to call you my friend. And it's nice to start the year with you.
Thank you.
Yep. Here's to 2021. We're going to hit it head on. Women have needs too. Right now I need to jump into 2021. And did I go back to 2020 again?
We're in the right year, 2021.
2021. We're going to jump right into 2021. Here we go. All right, people? So women have needs too. Stay inspired and stay empowered to make this year what you want it to be. Take care and have a great day. Thank you, Heidi.
Thank you, Linda.